Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you guys through another Notion template. We're going to be going through my travel Notion template, so I'll take you guys through a tour of what it looks like, and I'll also kind of take you through a little tutorial and explain a couple things. And this template will also be available on my Etsy, so I'll definitely link that below for you guys. If you don't know what Notion is, I always like to explain it just a little bit in the beginning of these videos, but basically it is how I organize my entire life. I always kind of refer to it as like a fancy notes app, because a lot of the things I used to keep in my notes app, I've transferred over to my Notion now, except it's so much more organized. And as someone who likes to make things look pretty, there's so much opportunity for that and so much room to be creative. But I organize like my schedule, my day-to-day like task lists, my vacations, my event planning, my business stuff, my content. I literally organize my entire life on here, my gym workouts, literally everything. So I definitely recommend checking it out, and I do have a link below that you guys can use. I love Notion and I make templates and I like to share them with you guys. So let's get into this travel template. Okay, so when you open the template, this is what you see. I'm so happy with the aesthetics of this one. I think it looks just really simple, but also super duper pretty. So there's a couple different features in this template that we'll go through. There's the people I meet on vacation page, the trip planning pages, the packing list, the travel bucket list, and the city hub. And I think those are the main things we'll cover. So first, I'm gonna start out with a short and sweet one. But this is a page I had put into my own travel page on Notion because I started doing this on my first study abroad trip in 2022. And that's my people I meet on vacation page. And I just think this is such a sweet page. So I explained it up here. So you'll see this if you buy this template. But it's inspired by the book I read called People I Meet on Vacation. Completely irrelevant to the story of that book. But it's basically just a list of people that I meet in different places when I'm traveling, because I feel like you come across, especially studying abroad, I feel like you come across so many different kinds of people, and even just encountering their presence and having like one conversation with them, you could always take a small lesson or even just the memory of that. So I liked to make this page. It's like a kind of digital scrapbook of the people I meet on vacation. So I started a page for you guys, and I did little call out boxes for each person. So the trip title will go at the top, and then you put the person's name, and then sometimes I put a nickname in for them if like maybe where I met them. I met these people at an Irish pub when I was in Italy, so like their like nickname was like Irish pub guy, you know what I mean? So like silly things like that that'll just like code you in. I'm like, oh, I remember that. And then if you have a picture of them, you could put an image in there by doing the backslash and the word image. And then that's when you put in your description, a lesson they taught you, whatever you want to remember about them. So I just think that page is super cute and simple. You don't have to use it, but I definitely recommend like implementing that because I think it's super fun. The next thing I'll go over is this packing list over here, and I love the picture I found over here. But as always, you guys can totally input whatever pictures that you like or whatever pictures fit your vibe better. This is just kind of the vibe I wanted to go with my travel template. But let's hop over to the packing list. This is just a basic list of things you pretty much would take on any trip. Super organized, super cute. You could always change these emojis if you're not feeling the pink hearts. That's just what I was in the mood for. But anyways, let's get back to the main page. Then I would say the biggest part of this template is this section right here. So this is pretty much how you plan a trip. So this is the trips in motion section. So these are trips that you're currently planning, you haven't quite gone on yet, but are gonna happen. So you open this, and I always like to press this button and open it in full page. So this is what it looks like. You can fill in up here the date of the trip, the days and nights, any tags you want to put. Anyways, then you scroll down, and here's where the magic happens, okay? This took a long time for me to kind of curate what I thought was the most useful to put here, but you put the trip name over here, the trip duration here, 4 days, 3 nights, whatever that may be. And then over here on this side, I have kind of trip prep stuff, so things that you'll need to get done before the trip. So I have a list for any appointments that you have, if you're getting your nails done, whatever that may be, getting your hair done, getting a spray tan, whatever it is that you need to get done, your eyebrows, any appointments you have to make before your trip, they'll go right here. And then this will take us to the same exact packing list that we were looking at before, except it's embedded into this trip. So you can edit this packing list that says full packing list in the trip to add things that you might only be bringing for this trip, or add specific things for this trip that you don't want to add to your basic packing list that you have on your homepage. So this, if I'm going to Boston and I need a winter coat, I would add winter coat to this, even though it's not in my typical packing list. But this just is somewhere where you can put specifics for this trip. Anyways, going back here, that's that. And then I put a shopping list here for anything you need to buy before the trip. If you need to buy like mini things, whatever that may be, any sort of travel necessities that you have, a new book, whatever floats your boat. So that's kind of the trip prep side. Then we have the plans section in the middle, which is the things that you're doing on your trip. So the first little section I have is the can't miss spots. So if you're going to be spending a few days somewhere and you don't necessarily have a strict itinerary, but there's things that you can't miss while you're there. If you're going to New York City and you have to see Times Square, like something like that, you could put there. Then I have the reservation list. So any food reservations or any reservations of any sort, I suppose, would be fine there. And then I have the activities section. So if you're going to Hawaii and you have a surf lesson at a certain time, you could also put those kind of reservations in the activities section. Or even if you're just brainstorming activities that you want to do, you could put them there. And then we have the details side over here. So if you are taking a plane to the location, your flight there information's over here. So your takeoff time and your landing time, just like timing wise, the essentials, and then your flight back. And for example, if you're not flying somewhere and you're driving, you could also change this little plane emoji to a car. And you could say how many hours the drive is, or if you plan on taking pit stops, whatever that may be. So you could always edit it to whatever you need. And then I have who's coming on this trip. So if anyone's coming with you, or if you're solo, whatever it may be, you could list that there. And then I have what is the reason for this trip, if there's any specific occasion that's being celebrated, or if you're just for fun, or if it's a brand trip, whatever it may be. And then I have the hotel section / Airbnb, wherever you're staying. You could just put your stay information in there. And I also have an embed link here if you want to embed the hotel or whatever you feel like putting there. If you want to embed the reservation, if you want to embed the hotel's website, just so you have it easily accessible. Then we scroll down and we do have a full hourly schedule if you are one of those kind of people who like want to plan every hour of your trip. And I have 4 days built in, but if you had another day, what I would do is I would highlight this, scroll down, and then I would press Control-C, and then I would paste it right here and drag it, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, and drag it right next to there. So now you have 5 days. So if your trip is longer and you want to put the whole itinerary there, that's totally an option. I just did 4 days because I feel like that's a pretty standard like weekend or, you know, simple trip. You could always add more if you want. Let's get rid of that. And then the last thing here is just your ticket information. So if you are flying, you could put all of the details, your seat, all of that, because this can all be accessed on your phone. So it'll just be easier if, you know, you don't have your ticket with you or you printed your ticket, whatever. All the information is just in one place. So that is pretty much it for the actual trip planning section, but I feel like that does have a lot. So another small detail too is that this says cover photo up here because whatever picture's over here is the picture that's going to be displayed over here. So when you see this, for example, if we go to my template, I'm planning a trip to Boston next week, so very exciting, but this is the cover photo I put, so it says cover photo and that's right there. Because whatever photo you put first, whatever you put first in your page, that's what's gonna show up there. So you want it to be something cute, you know. Anyways, back to the template. Then we scroll down and I have my travel playlist embedded here. So if you have a special playlist that makes you think of travel or whatever, you could play music while you're planning your trip. Just an easy way to get to that. Then I have the travel bucket list. This is really nothing crazy. It's just a page. I made this a while ago. You could always change this to a different color or whatever you want it to be, something simpler. But here you could just list all your bucket list travel places. Then we scroll down and the last thing I have here that's like a big page is the City Hub. And I love this page. I made this page for myself. And it's just a way to kind of keep track of those like TikTok recommendations, like when random things come on your For You page and it's like a restaurant in Nashville and you're like, well, I'm not planning to go to Nashville anytime soon, but like if I ever do, I want to remember this. So it's just a cute little hub of different big cities or places. And I personally go to New York City a lot because I live on Long Island, and I also go to Boston a lot because it's pretty close and I have a lot of friends that live there. So for me, those two cities are definitely really nice to have like places I want to go because I do visit them frequently. So basically how it works is I separated it into 4 main sections, which is coffee shops, activities, restaurants, and bars. I'm a coffee shop girl, so I have to have, it has to have its own section. So basically what you would do is there's a toggle here. So you would put the location. So let's do Ralph since that's what the picture is. And then you could also replace all these pictures to be more your vibe. So I put Ralph's, and if I want to put any details, where it is, the location, the address, or the specific thing I want to go for, if there's a recommended coffee I want to get, or if there's a recommended time, any details you want to know about this place, you put under there, and then you would just duplicate the toggle, or you could always go like that, and another toggle, just press enter, will come up, and then you can put the next place. And so you could just list those things as you wish. Super fun, super easy. I just think it's a great place to keep track of things. So in the template, I just put New York City, Nashville, Boston, and Chicago because those are 4 cities that I've been to and 4 cities I'll probably end up going back to. But you could add as many as you want, as little as you want. You don't even have to use it, but it's there. And then when you keep scrolling down, you get to these, which is dream trips, and I'm gonna delete this actually because there's no need for that to be there, which is dream trips and past trips. So after you complete a trip, you can drag it from here, scroll, 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 and add it into here. So say I went on my trip 1, I'd put it in past trips, just somewhere to put your old trips so that, you know, all your planning doesn't go to waste, and if you ever want to look back on it, you still have it. But one more thing I want to show you guys is what you do when you're starting a new trip, because this was already here for you. So we press new page, and then we have the template already here. So all you do is press trip, and then everything eventually loads onto this page. So it's super simple, super easy. Everything's here. And you just do that every time you're planning a new trip. Let's go back. So just see, this is what I meant before though. This doesn't have a cover photo, so that's what the ugliness looks like, which we just don't like. We want either a simple cover photo or a cover photo that'll represent the place you're going. But we're gonna delete this one. And yeah, that pretty much sums up the travel template. I think I've spent a lot of time creating it and making it as aesthetic but functional as I could. So I really love using this, and I'm really happy with how it came out. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys want to purchase it, it is in my Etsy, which will be linked below. And thank you guys so much for watching if you made it this far. Let me know in the comments if there's any other Notion videos you want to see or any other templates you want me to make. Like I said, I love Notion, and I'm happy to make as much Notion content as you guys want to see. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.